Welcome back into this week's edition of Maverick Insider. The Minnesota State women's basketball team is gearing up for the NCAA Tournament. I'm Rob Clark, joined alongside head coach Emilee Thiesse. Coach, first time since 2009 that this program is hosting a regional, but we all know what happened in 2009. Just how exciting of a time is it for this program to be able to stay close to home for the first couple of rounds of the NCAA Tournament?
Oh man, this has just been incredible. It's, I think on the one hand, we're super fortunate that our conference tournament runs, a week ahead, so we've been able to have, a little extra rest and recovery following that. But then when you're at home and you don't add the extra travel in and all of those kind of things, it's just so nice to be home.
And how is the team feeling right now, health-wise, as we head into the national tournament?
Yeah, we're still pretty dinged up, but quite honestly, so is everybody. Everybody that we're scouting and watching right now has their dings and issues, and so we're forging through. We're starting to see some of our players starting to maybe move forward from some of the injuries, which is a great position to be in right now.
Is it a benefit to have three NSIC teams in this regional, the familiarity, or is that something that maybe you'd want to see some of those other opponents from different conferences?
I think it's a little of both. I think you get to the NCAA tournament, it's nice to see some different teams. But on the other hand, there can be really short turnaround and really short prep time. And so to have some familiarity with like, hey, this is what we think we're going to see, and maybe, just some confidence on matchups and those kind of things. So a little bit of both, we'll probably see a little bit of both within this tournament.
And what will it take for MSU to go on a nice long run in the national tournament this year?
I think, again, just staying true to who we are. I think when we look back at the two losses that we've had this season, both to Concordia St. Paul, I think those were great learning lessons for our team this year. We matched up with one of the top teams in the region and really in the country. And they were able to, just help us to realize, I think the first loss, we strayed away from some of our defensive principles that are really important to us. And then I think the second loss, we strayed away from some of our offensive principles that are really important to us. So we were able to learn those things against a really good quality opponent. Got back to work this week in the gym, and I think really starting to build our confidence and just reminding ourselves that what we do on both ends of the court is really dependent on our team playing off one another.
Do you think in some ways it was maybe nice to have a loss going into the national tournament instead of maybe having the weight of perfect season was what we're going for here?
Yes, I think it's hard to sit there and wish upon any perfect season a loss, and we wouldn't prefer that, obviously, but sitting in the seat now, being able to have learned the lessons that we've learned, watching those games and the edge that we've been able to bring to practice this week, just knowing that, hey, this is the reality of the teams that we're going to see, that we're going to see better defensive teams, we're going to see teams that handle pressure a little better, and so let's clean these things up, and ultimately, that fits in line with what our goals are as a team.
And how dialed in is this senior group and just kind of enjoying the moment and, soaking everything in their final games of their career here at MSU?
Yeah, this group is very blessed to have been in an NCAA tournament for 4 years. This is uncharted territory being here in the Taylor Center, but they know what it takes, They know the amount of focus it takes. They know the discipline that it takes, but they also know just how important it is to lean on each other and to just stay present, like you said, soaking up every chance that they get to be together.
This team is unbeaten at home this year, so I assume that, what is it about this atmosphere that, it really kind of brings out the best in this group?
I mean, this facility is, second to none in this region, and so, that in and of itself provides such a great home experience, but our crowds have been so great to us, our community support, our band, our cheer, all of those things that just give you that extra nod when, the game's on the line, when things get tight, you really feel that support. And we're just so excited to be able to showcase the community of Mankato to all these teams in our region. It's going to be a really, really fun week.
And take us kind of inside the huddle here, just, when those games are close in the NCAA tournament, just as a coach, when you're kind of watching it all play out, how nerve-wracking is it, or do you just kind of enjoy, all of those moments and just see what your group is capable of?
I've realized now, being a parent and a spectator, it's so much harder being on that side of it. than it is being on the court and being, you know, a part of the solution and what we know that we're prepared to do out there. So I think we feel confident in those situations. We were here 2 years ago when the men hosted the regional, and obviously an incredible atmosphere for that, and a great game, and just to see that type of support and really what that means for that home court advantage, we're really excited.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me.
You got it. Thank you.
We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.